Alright guys, before we get going on this video, I want to explain to you exactly what the truck's brake control module is looking for signal-wise. You're going to see me have the oscilloscope out and be getting a lot of waveforms. I'm kind of talking fast, but I think if you watch this initial part, this is going to make the whole video make a lot more sense. So there are only three sensors actually on these trucks. Okay, there's a front left wheel speed sensor, a front right, and then there's the rear vehicle speed sensor. Okay. Now they all produce a sine wave, this nice smooth wave, and they all are going to be about 1 volt peak to peak, so that's the top of this peak to the bottom of this peak, when your tire is spinning at 1 revolution per second. So if you spin the front left tire at 1 revolution per second, this will be a volt, same for the right, same for the rear. The rear is a little different because it's on the output shaft for the drive shaft, but it should be around there, give or take. I think it's actually a little closer, like 2 volts. That being said, what I'm diagnosing on my truck first is trying to determine if all of these sensor outputs are correct. Okay. Now, the reason there's this square wave here is because this vehicle speed sensor on the tail shaft of the transfer case or transmission, if it's a 2-wheel drive, goes into the truck's PCM, the powertrain control module, which is under the hood. It then gets changed into a square wave, the blue wave here, goes back to the brake control module, which is under the driver's door, and then the brake control module takes the square wave and these 2 sine waves and decides if the wheel speed sensor inputs are correct or not. So that's just a really high level explanation of the system, and we'll go through more of this in the video, but I felt like I needed to show this up front so you understood what was going on. Alright, so I'm determined to figure out why my seemingly perfectly fine wheel speed sensor is not working properly and giving me ABS codes. So I've derived a test that I'm doing. I'm taking a drill so I can get a consistent speed of spin, and I'm jamming against the tire, and I'm looking at the waveform. Once it's at a consistent speed, see how it's pulsing? I'm curious if that's just a different enough amplitude that it doesn't like it. I'm gonna go test the other side. All right, look at how much higher the amplitude is on the other side. So just when you think you don't have a problem, because the waveform looks good, that it does not tell you the whole story. You gotta have a consistent speed to be able to compare the two. Now let me change our divisions here. I just went from the 200 to the 500 millivolt setting. Look at how this is twice the amplitude, give or take, as the other side. It is still a little bit wavy, so I don't think that was ever the issue. It was just the amplitude. And just for good measure, back on the other side at the same 500 millivolt setting, look at how much shorter that peak is. So it's about half the amount of strength as the other one. All right, so I did some Googling and some AI talking to, and it looks like it is possible the other side is actually at too high of a voltage. And so what's happening is it's blaming this wheel because it sees that their voltages are different, and it assumes that this one's just too low when in fact that one's too high. And I know it sounds crazy, but from everything I've researched, this is actually at the right spec and the other side is way too high. So I'm gonna go crazy here and swap the sensor that I theoretically know is good in my old bearing. This is super dark, but whatever, the old sensor, and put it in here and see what happens. As you can see with our connector disconnected, our waveform was good. I'll just show you that. All right, we got 9.9 volts, so these are actually supposed to be about 10, so that's fine. Just to quickly recap again, we started off with our left front wheel speed sensor being at 3 volts, our right front at 1, and then I only showed you the square wave, but we had a good square wave out of that rear sensor at 10 volts, okay? So what we did was we replaced this left front bearing, really just replaced the sensor, which is the issue, but I put a whole new bearing in it, and that brought the amplitude down to where it was the same as the right-hand side. However, as I mentioned, I still have the codes, even though I've confirmed that all 3 signals are good. Now keep in mind, I confirmed at the wheels that these 2 front ones were good, and I did confirm at the ABS module the rear one was good. So now I need to go through and confirm at the ABS module that these front inputs are good, and go from there. Alright guys, now that this project has fully escalated entirely, we are going to start off with the basics here. We're going to get up in the ABS module, pull the power and ground cable off, and I just want to check ground with a calibrated test light. You know, that's 4 or 5 amps, whatever a headlight bulb is. So I've already wired everything up to save some time in the video. We're gonna go ahead and plug this feller in. And we've got good headlight bulb lightage action. So we should be good for grounding. And what I'm gonna do is just wiggle the ground a little bit just to make sure nothing is too crazy with it. But the ABS module ground seems to be in good shape. So that's our first step, just to make sure that we're not chasing ghosts here. And we'll go from here. So I've noticed that my voltage peak to peak for my right front wheel speed sensor dropped a lot when I plugged it back into the EBCM. I don't know if that's normal, but that seems kind of peculiar. It's an interesting result. I'm gonna move these to A1 and B1, which is the left front, and just get another test here for kind of like a baseline. I am definitely beginning to think that we may have a EBCM issue, but it's just hard to prove. This should still be under warranty, but I really don't want to get it warranty unless it's actually broken, just out of principle, you know? It's not the company's fault if I diagnose this wrong, so let's try to get the diagnosis right. How about that? I just plugged the harness back in. We're going to run the same test and see if our voltage drops at all. All right. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. So this is very, very, very interesting to me. I'm going to rerun the test on the other wheel speed sensor. But the EBCM seems to be pulling down the voltage from that sensor by like half, basically. So instead of being 0.8, 0.9, it's like 0.45, 0.35. And that one is just the same exact amount of signal as it was right off the wheel. So I've confirmed, and I'm going to try it again just to make sure, but I've confirmed that at the wheel, we've got 0.8 volts from both sides here, and they're both brand new sensors and bearings essentially. I've also confirmed that at the harness unplugged, we've got that same 0.8 volt peak to peak on our sine wave. Okay, but then with the harness plugged in, only the left-hand side has the 0.8 volts. This side's like 0.4, 0.35. So I'm gonna again rerun that test on the right-hand side wheel, but that seems like we could be onto something. Bad EBCM, I don't know. This thing was just replaced not that long ago, but they're also junk, so it's so hard to say. So hard to say. Why is it also throwing the vehicle speed sensor code? Kind of interesting. The vehicle speed sensor seems to be fine from what I can tell. And I did the square wave test, as you'll see here. Everything looks pretty good based on the data that I looked up and stuff. My only assumption is that the front right is freaking out enough because the signal's low that maybe it thinks the other signals are high. Kind of a bad theory, but I can't really fully explain that, which I don't love. I wish I could fully explain that, but I don't know. And then the question is, like, which is the primary code? Like, which one trips first? Well, they kind of both hit at the same time, it seems, so it's kind of hard to say. But yeah. I'm gonna keep digging a little bit and I'll get back with you guys. All right, now I'm definitely not touching the pins. Let's try it again. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. I can already tell that's better. It was unplugged. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in right now. And just see if I can replicate my result from before. If not, then we probably just had a connector issue. Make sure this is still working. Okay. All right, let's try it again. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. Way lower, I can already tell. So what have we proven here, folks? I think I've proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that the EBCM is somehow pulling down that signal. But what I want to do now is measure the resistance between the low reference signal wire and the signal wire. Between the front sensor and the the left sensor and the right sensor, see if there's a different amount of resistance. Because in order to pull that down, presumably there should be resistance either to ground or to each other. I guess to each other. I don't know what the circuitry on the circuit board looks like, but we're gonna do some multimeter checks and we'll get back to you. So both low reference wires, which are actually opposites here, they are both at about, 0 ohms or whatever, 0.4 ohms. So they are low reference, they are ground. So unless something electronically is pulling that signal down, there's got to be something wrong in that EBCM. I just cannot think of what else would cause this issue. So I'm pretty comfortable condemning the EBCM, but I just hate when the friggin' diagnostic goes to it's the brain box, because even though these are really common failure points, I don't know. I'm going to think a little bit. All right, everyone. So as much as I have checked, double-checked, triple-checked, and arguably quadruple-checked my diagnostic, I'll be honest with you, I'm still not totally convinced this ABS module is bad. Just because I'm skeptical. I don't know. Whatever. We will see. But we are going to go ahead and replace it. I got a new one. Well, I got another remanufactured one. Oh, God. This is a terrible angle for you guys, isn't it? I got another remanufactured one, and the reality of the situation is they are essentially all remanufactured at this point because, you know, GM doesn't make them anymore. I did find what on eBay claimed to be OEM ones. They were $800 and some odd, which if this were my daily, I may spend the money on, but I'll just not have ABS for $800. The one that I bought was like $4 something. Now it won't cost me that because I'm getting the other one warranted. But this is a different brand. The ones I had been using were Cardone's. And I'm actually not even crap talking Cardone when I say that, because I don't know. It's a remanufacturing process. These things are known to be crappy from the factory. Like, is it really Cardone's fault? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe they could have done a better job remanning them. Who freaking knows? So here's what we're going to do. This is the game plan, all right? I'm going to swap this guy out, see how this works, the new one. Let's just say it works again for like 6 months to a year. Then at that point, I realize that all these remans are absolute junk, okay? That's going to be the deciding factor here. So if that were to occur, then we are going to put the truck down in the middle of summer, when I'm not really driving it much anyway. We're going to take the module off. We're going to send it to... there's a local company around here, kind of not local to me, but in Syracuse, New York, called United Radio. I think that they may rebuild these. And if not them, we'll ship it out somewhere. There's a company in California and one in Georgia, from my understanding, that rebuilds ABS modules. So we will look into something like that, and we will attempt to have somebody rebuild it in the US of A and have them confirm beyond the shadow of a doubt that it is good. Okay? And if that means we got to buy another friggin' module for parts on eBay or whatever, so be it. I'll get a used one. I mean, whatever it takes. But then I will be, okay, I'll have a known good one from a like known good source. It'll cost what it costs, and it'll still be less than $800, I think, anyway. And then we can put that in, and then we can go and look. But the reality of it is, as you've seen in this whole video here, I have done an extensive amount of electrical testing. I have checked and confirmed the waveforms of all these sensors are doing what they need to do. I've confirmed the power. I've confirmed the ground. I've confirmed all of the things a guy can confirm to make sure that his ABS module is doing the things the ABS module should do. And yet, unfortunately, it seems as though the ABS module is dragging that voltage down on the one wheel speed sensor there, the front right. So we're just going to go based off of that theory, and hopefully we are correct. And hopefully this one works for many years, and we don't have to worry about all of the sort of extreme solutions that I just laid out to you. So that's what we're going to do. So this fella is remanufactured in Mexico. No idea if that's a good thing or not, but that's where it's remanufactured. So I'm just going to take that information for what it's worth. All right, so my confidence level that this actually works is like 30%, despite my diagnosis, because I don't know, I just feel like it's not going to work. I feel like it already should have been off. So we're going to find out. Let's see what happens. Well, it's not buzzing the ABS module, at least, right now, so that's kind of cool, I guess. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Let's see if the lights turn off. Oh, the lights did turn off. We'll see if they come back. Brakes. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we're on to something here. I'll be honest with you. Is it going to come back on? I don't know, but it would have been on by now, or it would have never turned off, and it would have been buzzing the absolute monkey poop out of the friggin' ABS. So it is working better, at least, than the other one. Now, we'll see if it comes back on here, but I think we might be in the clear. Dare I suggest that statement? Well, I put a few more miles on, and honestly, to my surprise, this seems to be fine. So I will, by the time I edit this video, I'll have probably put some amount of hundreds of miles on it. So I will let you know in the comment, or in text here, if this didn't work. But I'm gonna call it good, I guess. So as always, thanks for watching. God bless America, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.